Trailblazer.
I'm a sales trailblazer.
I'm a sales trailblazer.
We are sales trailblazers.
Because I have helped enable the entire sales organization.
And in turn, I've become an advocate for clients.
Sales Cloud is the forward-thinking platform that has enabled us to stay one step ahead of our competition.
Sales Cloud saves our deals by putting everything in one place.
And we're absolutely loving our solution on Salesforce. What?
And Sales Cloud has been the cornerstone of that system. It is a force multiplier, and it enables us to do some pretty amazing things.
I care about customer relationships because it's the guiding light of our business.
Because I recognize the lifeblood of any company is about making customers successful.
Sales Cloud helps me sell without boundaries by letting everybody close sales.
We can do it all with Salesforce, and we look like heroes along the way.
Hello, everybody. Live from New York, we've got the new Sales Cloud. So what do I mean by that? New Sales Cloud. I'm going to share with you the new way people are thinking about what Sales Cloud means. And I'm also going to share very tactically some new things that we have out now in the Sales Cloud that you can leverage today. But I will talk about some things that are a little forward-looking. I will talk about the roadmap. So please make all of your purchasing decisions based on currently available products. This is not your first time you've heard thank you today, and hopefully will not be your last, but thank you. We have a very unique relationships with our customers and with our prospects and partners. And that makes our company more successful because our customers are successful. It's together in this collaboration that we grow and that we succeed. And there's no better example of that relationship and the collaboration. The ultimate in that is our Trailblazers. You saw some of that in action this morning. These Trailblazers, like my friend, the MVP, Linda Johnson, sitting right over here, she's a great example of how she transforms businesses. Our Trailblazers are making changes within their companies. And they're doing this not only for the company, but they're also transforming their careers, just like you saw with Zach this morning. Well, there's nobody better to get us going down this path in the next revolution of sales than our Trailblazers. The world is changing, and that does, sales is not immune to that. I've been in CRM for 18 years, so I'm back in the client-server days of SFA, and today, companies are mobile, social, and they're using artificial intelligence. That's a whole new way of selling. I sold for 10 years at Salesforce before I moved into marketing, and when I first started, and this wasn't that long ago, we had a fax machine, and at the end of the month or the end of the quarter, there'd be a fax that came in, everyone would run over, someone would grab it off and read the name that was on the, the order form, and that lucky person would grab it and go back to their desk. And yet today, people are using artificial intelligence in their sales cycles to understand if they should be working on a particular deal or not and allocate their resources accordingly. It's a whole new ballgame. And it's not just selling, it's actually our customers too. The way people buy is changing. They're just as informed, and they have access to all that data as well. So they want something personalized, they want something that's more rapid. So that's why the Trailblazers and our customers rely on Sales Cloud, the #1 platform in the world, to run their businesses and to transform their businesses during this change. And the new Sales Cloud isn't your dad's SFA. This isn't accounts and contacts, leads and opportunities. This is the entire lead-to-cash platform. This is Pardot B2B marketing, where you get your leads, you work them through to opportunities, you quote and configure right within the platform, and you can extend all of that to your partner community. And of course, artificial intelligence is embedded throughout with Sales Cloud. And that's the new Sales Cloud. And all of this is available on the Salesforce platform. And that's what makes it seamless. It just works. Because you can use shared services like Trailhead, analytics, integration across all of these solutions. And that's what helps customers like United Way or T-Mobile or WeWork, like you saw this morning, be more progressive. And this isn't just for these big companies I just named. You saw this morning in the keynote we have Essentials, and Essentials help small businesses get started on their journey with CRM. And it's that platform that has propelled us to be the number one SFA. All of our competitors combined can't touch Salesforce, and that's thanks to you, our customers, and your trust in us. So let's talk a little bit about the things that are important to you, our customers. We heard from you, it's about intelligence. I'm going to guess almost all of you here are already Sales Cloud customers, and you're here because you want to know what's new about Einstein. It's the question I get time and time again. Then we'll talk about productivity, and then I also want to make sure we focus on the platform, how you can customize this to be unique to your specific needs. So with Einstein, we have continued to release new features. We announced it over a year ago, and with every release, there's new functionality right within the Sales Cloud Einstein packaging. All of these are designed to have the specific use cases you have in sales, so that you don't need a data scientist or you don't need to set something up. You can use this right out of the box. Let me take one for an example so you can understand. We're here at an event. If you have a booth over in the trade show, you've been scanning people all day long. And when you get back to the office, you might only have 3 sales development reps that need to call hundreds of leads. So using Einstein lead scoring, you can analyze in just seconds all of your historical data to identify what a really good lead is, which ones are most likely to convert, and have your 3 sales development reps call those first. And that's a great way to drive productivity. And if you take the Einstein Assessor, it'll allow you to understand of all this functionality, what actually is specific to your org where you're going to get the most value. So you can go back and run that today. So pay attention to all these features here, because this is what Sales Cloud Einstein is. And we just took that information, all those features, and we're adding more to it. And this is a direct result of feedback we got from you. So our customers have been using all those amazing artificial intelligence features, and they came back and said they wanted more. And what they really needed was the ability to get the information in and more ability to make sense of it. So that's why now Sales Cloud Einstein includes not only everything you saw on that chalkboard, but inbox as well as analytics. So let me repeat that. Einstein now has all that functionality plus inbox and analytics. So inbox will synchronize your calendar, your emails, get that into your CRM so you can make smart decisions on it. And then the analytics will allow you to have even greater insights. You know, historical pipeline reports, white space reports, sales stage analysis, and all in one package. So we're thankful for that relationship to get that feedback. So this innovation is exciting, and one of the things that you probably came to hear is how some companies are using Sales Cloud today successfully and how they're able to get the most value out of it. Well, we're really lucky to have another Trailblazer with us here today from the weather company and IBM business. So Michael Peeler, why don't you come on up and join us? Let's give him a warm round of applause so he feels welcome.
Hi.
Hi, thanks, Michael. So your title is quite a mouthful. You are the head of Analytics, Automation, and Business Technologies. That sounds like a ton of responsibility. Maybe you could talk a little bit about what the weather company does and what your group does particular.
Sure. I mean, that's what happens when you let people make their own titles.
You should put global in there,
yeah,
you know?
Totally. So the weather company owns a couple properties, weather.com, the mobile app. We pretty much sell weather to every media company, Samsung, Apple, whether it's our app or not. It's our weather data. In addition, we also sell weather data to the government, aviation, and media companies. So you go on to your local news station, you see your weather forecast that's coming from us.
Oh, great. I didn't realize you sold data.
So the groups that now work with are basically advanced in operational analytics, business application development, and CRM and system strategy. We all basically have the same focus, which is user experience and intelligence engineering. And you know, my background was actually in the finance side. You know, I was in a finance org forever, so like I was the user of the reports. A lot of times, like I was using reports, they weren't really friendly to me. So like what I've tried to bring to this group is, you know, it's great that you can take requirements from somebody and you can go build exactly what they gave you, but if it's not a friendly experience, then you failed. So we're trying to make everyone's life a little easier while using the best platforms out there.
Yeah, that's great. And being a user probably helps you give you that perspective. So that's awesome background to be successful. So you helped bring Salesforce into the group and got it up and running. Let's talk about life before Salesforce. What were those challenges, or what were you facing as a team that made you take a look at Salesforce as a CRM to solve those problems?
I think it's a lot of the common challenges that everybody has that deals with the sales org or multiple data sets. And it's lots of emails, it's lots of spreadsheets, no history, so if you want to track things as you have turnover. And so one of the real focuses that we've done is really to do as much integration as possible. When you have to do the same process, multiple times for multiple systems, people just hate you. So you don't want people to hate you, right? So
No.
you try and simplify things, and you get out of the my data versus your data game.
Right. So you really take advantage of the platform. That's great. So now you have Salesforce. You and I spoke before this, and one of the things you talked about was automating the processes and making the reps more productive. What is it you did for your reps, and what results have they seen in your organization as a result of rolling out Salesforce?
I think that they're spending a lot less time in Salesforce, and they're doing a lot less, and that's by using Visualforce or the natural pages to collect as much information in a easy way, and to prevent them from having to go to multiple screens. And then when I talk about integrations, that's not just with like our legacy systems, but like all the things that are now available in App Exchange. So you can kind of create like a CRM food store.
Right.
You want to try and keep them in one page and make life easier at the same time.
Yeah, give them more time to do what they do best, right? Do their job and less administrative work.
Yeah, I mean, anytime your sales team is not talking to clients, it's probably a lost opportunity.
For sure. Great. And so have you extended Salesforce out to a greater community? Who else is using Salesforce?
So we've done a lot of work internally, and now we have third-party sellers who are actually out there selling weather.com and weather data, and we've done that using the communities platform. And what that's really allowed us to do is leverage everything that we've built internally. So we built our own custom CPQ tool, which helps integrate with all the systems in the digital ad stack. And then we also are using platforms like Chatter. And to be honest with you, I'm not a fan of Chatter, and now I kind of am a fan of Chatter. And what we've really seen is as we've wound it into our CPQ tool, and really like that was what was needed for us to make it successful, was like the right location. Like, where does it make sense? How does it compete against my 4 or 5 other, chat tools within a company? And now, as we're, moving an RFP through the process, we have Chatter conversations on a deal, which people can then go back to and reference in the future. And another thing that we've really done good is we've moved other sales support teams into Salesforce. And that's, again, things not getting lost in email by creating like request forms where a salesperson who's already in Salesforce can, fill out a request form and get help from, team A, team B on whatever they need.
That's great. I've heard a couple. I like how you were really taking into consideration the use case, and that's a great example of paying attention to the user by moving Chatter around. So probably a lot of people here are a little jealous. You've done some amazing things. You're transforming. Can you give some more practical tips on what you did to make that transition so that people can replicate that?
Yeah, sure. Obviously, my first answer is biased because of my background, but build reporting immediately. CRMs, ERPs, these implementations generally fail for 3 different reasons. 1, you don't have an executive champion. 2, you don't have engagement. 3, your data is garbage. And automated reporting instantly will flush out all 3 of those and put a magnifying glass, and you can adjust your strategy. You know, either you got to find the right executive champion, you know which, you know, Bob on the West Coast isn't putting any details in the Salesforce, and then eventually you have to get your data correct. Another thing is, you know, like I was saying before, don't get caught up in the game between systems of these are the requirements I gave you, and this is what I built from those requirements. Again, if you're building things that nobody wants to use, it's garbage, and you're just setting yourself up for failure.
No, sounds like great tips. Any last minute advice? Anything these folks can go home and do right now after the keynote?
Yeah, I mean, the most important thing I think now is to think about Salesforce in the right way. I think that when Salesforce first came out, it was all about contact management and pipeline, but it's really evolved, right? So actually, the analogy I like to use is my mom can't use email. She can't send an email to save her life, but she can use an iPhone, she can use a Google search, and part of that is because of the availability of functionality and the simplicity around it. So like for me, Salesforce has really evolved from just contact management and pipeline management to this, you know, hub of revenue operations and information. And I think that you really have to think about like what your Salesforce tech stack is, you know, with put as much functionality in, keep everyone in one location, while, you know, still making it simple enough that mom could use it if you wanted her to.
Great. So pass the mom test.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Michael. Really, how about a warm round of applause? That was great insights. I loved your candor, and I love you sharing your story, how you're using the new Sales Cloud. Thank you so much. Let's talk about productivity. You heard a lot of that in there, right? He wants his people talking to clients. He doesn't want them sitting around actually entering in data or doing things. So what are we doing from the product side of the house to help you with that? Let's talk about some new things in some of our product lines that are going to help your teams be more successful. So with Lightning, we're seeing great results from our customers who are using this to help their reps be more productive. And that includes using the console. And new in the console are macros. I love macros. So let's talk about a great use case for macros. When I was a sales rep, I called my customers. That's what you do. And I would call down customers all day long, and the majority of the time I was getting their voicemail. So that meant I would leave a voicemail, then I would log my note. And then I would change the lead status to say, you know, it was in working status, and then I would set a follow-up task for myself for a couple days out. With macros, you can combine multiple steps to any process into one click, so I can just click the left of voicemail macro, and all of those things will happen instantly. And that's incredible productivity, regardless of what your role is. Sarah McNamara is a great trailblazer. I found Sarah because she had written a blog about Pardot called The 4 Things I'm Looking Forward to in 2018 about Pardot. And if you follow her on Twitter or LinkedIn, she's constantly posting about what she's doing within her organization to build better pipeline with Pardot. And I know she's excited about optimizing her spend with the new campaign influence. This means after an event like this, she can see the return on investment she gets on her spend so that she can spend it accordingly on the right programs and the right campaigns, because that allows her to see the influence at the top of the funnel, the middle of the funnel, and the bottom of the funnel. And that's greater visibility to make the most of your marketing dollars. Now, when I was a rep, I would spend a lot of time getting my deal to that finish line, only to be frustrated to spend even more time trying to get a quote across the line. Run down the hall to pricing, run down the hall to legal, get my manager involved, and a lot of this was done in email as well. But with CPQ, it's right within the platform, so I can do all of those tasks. I can automate the approval process. There's a pricing engine that'll generate the allowed discounts for me. All that can be done quickly within seconds so that I can get a quote out to my customer. And now what's new is artificial intelligence is built in, so you as an organization can get greater insights and understand the patterns in pricing and discounting to set up the right training and rules accordingly. All of these amazing things can be extended out to your partners, right through the partner community. And now, with guided setup, this is new, it's actually 3 times faster to spin up a portal to get your partners involved in your sales process, to extend marketing and extend sales through them. And with distributed marketing, you're not only marketing to, but you can actually market through. That means you can market through your partners to your end user. Well, all of this sounds great, but let's see it in action. I'd like to invite up my friend and colleague, Jason Procho, Director of Product Marketing. Bring this to life for us, Jason.
Thanks, Lynn. Now, I'd be remiss not to introduce my partner in crime, Akansha, in the back. Akansha is going to help us drive a demo and live the life of a sales rep. Now, we're really excited to be back here in New York City, me personally, because I actually grew up across the river in New Jersey. Yes, I'm part of that bridge and tunnel problem. But when I was growing up, I never had the time to explore everything that the city had to offer. But what would you do with an extra hour each day? Would you head up to the Yankees game a little bit earlier to go watch Judge crush some homers? Would you head down to the East Village to check out the new restaurant? Or, if you're like me and always on the road, just take that last hour to exercise a bit. Well, you're in luck, because today I'm going to show you how to give that hour back with Sales Cloud and the Lightning experience. Now, we begin with the Lightning Sales Console. This org has been branded and personalized with my company. And as a busy sales rep, I look at all my leads and just don't know exactly where to start. But with Einstein lead scoring, we utilize machine language processing as well as natural language processing in order to assign an Einstein lead score to prioritize for me to help me be more productive. Now, I want to be as productive as possible, which is why I utilize the Lightning Dialer. Now, the Lightning Dialer allows me with a few clicks to add my top 20 leads, add them to a call list, and help me get started with my day. I see that Peggy Lower is my top lead from Aloha Solutions, and when I click into that lead, I have all the information that I need all on one screen. No longer do I have to go from tab to tab as I have a prospect on the phone. I have all the information all in one place. Now, up in that top right-hand corner, you'll also see the Einstein lead score. This calls out the specific factors of what makes this lead so valuable. Below that, you can see the engagement history from Pardot. This allows me to understand all the material that Peggy has interacted with so that when I get her on the phone, I can have that next level conversation. So let's get her on the phone. But rather than dial her phone number, I could simply click her phone number and up pops my Lightning Dialer. Unfortunately, she's not there, so I have to leave a voicemail. But with Lightning Dialer's voicemail drop, I can leave a pre-recorded message in a second. The best part is that this task is automatically logged back to the lead record. Let's go on to the next opportunity. Rather than open up a new call list, I could simply scroll down and call next Ben Patrice. When I call Ben, that lead screen opens up so I have all the information in one place so that I can have that next conversation with Ben. This time, he's excited about the products that I have to sell. So I'm going to say, log this back up, end the call. But now I'm to that point that every sales rep kind of hates. It's that logging all this information back into my CRM about how this call went. Luckily, this is where Macros truly shines. With one click, I can add an activity, send an email, and set a reminder for me to follow up with a specific lead. No longer do I have to do that same task again and again. With Macros, this entire process is automated for me. Now, Ben asked me to follow up with him with a specific email, and with Pardot Engage, I could send an marketing-approved email template in a matter of seconds. I could simply pull the template that I want, personalize it, and hit send. But not everybody is as far along as Ben. So what I could do is add him to a nurture list. This kicks off a nurture campaign and allows me, the sales rep, know every time that that lead interacts with that piece of content. Now, Einstein is by my side throughout this entire sales process. And as a lead flips over to the opportunity, Einstein is again scoring this specific opportunity and calling out exactly how likely this lead is to close. Not only does it give me insights into the positive aspects of it all, it also calls out those risk factors that may prevent me from closing it by the target date. Now, if I want to be a productive sales rep, I have to be able to move quickly, and sometimes it requires me to price and quote. So let's take this hypothetical and make it real. As I advance my sales stage to proposal and quote, you'll notice that the Lightning Sales Console automatically updates, and up pops the quote component, and a new quote is generated. Dynamic page theming in Lightning helps me as a rep be super productive by only presenting the information that I need. Now, Salesforce CPQ is probably one of my favorite products, as well as with Lynn's. As she said, no longer does she have to run around to the deal desk, to the product teams to get pricing approval and figure out what products to add. We could simply configure the products utilizing our quick selector, and when my customer gives me a specific budget, I can enter that budget into the dynamic pricing engine, and that budget is spread across all my line items. Instant approval feedback also lets me know that if I'm staying within my budget and within my discount thresholds. This is just another example of how CPQ makes me work faster and more productive. The last part of the CPQ example that I would like to show you is generating that branded proposal. Now, as I generate this branded proposal and generate this quote, not only is it pulling forward everything from the configurator, it's pulling forward all the terms and conditions associated with each product that I have quoted. As you can see, it's beautifully branded, and I could send it all within one click. You could even embed an Adobe eSign signature tool so that the customer can sign it in just a few clicks. At the end of the day, Lightning Sales Cloud helps me be more efficient and helps me grow my business so I could go do the things that I love. Like, Lynn, get out there and go to my Yankees game. By the way, they're up 2-0 right now.
I love it. Well, good luck, and keep that hat on. It might be your lucky charm. Customizing the application is really important for your business. It's really important for your business because it helps drive adoption. Because if you can make the pages and the information relevant to the role, they're likely to use it, and they're going to get more value out of it. It's also a really important differentiator for your business. You have unique processes that you run that make your business different than your competition's. And if you can align your CRM to that as well, it'll give you a competitive advantage. Lightning is a great way to bring innovation into your organization. And there's over 700 new features that are specific just to Lightning. And over in the campground, you can take advantage of learning more about Lightning in your organization. But Lightning is more than just a user experience. It's actually a platform and an ecosystem. And with the platform, you can drag and drop things onto your page to customize it to your business or to the role. And you can also customize it to your brand. Now Lightning allows you to make it pink like T-Mobile or blue like Salesforce. And with over 1,000 applications on the App Exchange in Lightning, you can extend the way you use this to be unique to your business. There's over 1 million people using Salesforce Mobile today. 1 million, which means probably most of you here in the room have it on your phone. Salesforce was just awarded by the Globos the best mobile application. And it's no wonder, because when back in the day, I used to use my BlackBerry and be really excited if I could find the contact's phone number. But today, I can actually open up the mobile app and move my opportunity forward, collaborate with my peers, and even access third-party information or custom applications that we've built. So get your reps on mobile today to be able to be more productive. We've talked about a lot of things today, a lot of new functionality, a lot of new concepts like artificial intelligence, and thank goodness we have Trailhead so that you, your employees, your organization can go take trails from everything as simple concepts all the way up to very complex things like natural learning. And if you text the number here on the screen, 38767, you can get access to a special trail and be one of the millions of people that are doing badges today. Also, we want your feedback. We come here to New York, we spend time with you to try and make sure that we're providing value to you, making sure you're up to speed on what the latest is. If you would take our survey, you can give us the feedback we need to understand how we can better serve you. And I have one more gift for you. We have spent time in our organization investing in what it means to be successful in sales, to share that with our community. And a lot of that is the technology that I share with you here today, but it's also thought leadership. It's sharing best practices from the community, best practices from sales leaders, best practices from thought leaders on how to be successful in hiring, forecasting, and so forth. As part of this commitment, we actually went out on an adventure this year and made the first documentary ever on the profession of sales. So this is about your role or the people that you support. And I'd love to share a snippet with you before you leave today. I'll show you our trailer, and you can go to thestoryofsales.com to see the full movie. Thanks again for coming today. We appreciate your business. Stick around for the film, and I'm going to go spend my time today, Jason, getting a piece of pizza. Let's roll it.
Until something is sold, nobody gets paid.
You hear those stories like, how did he start it? He literally sold the first set out of the back of his truck.
Business is great, but if you can't sell anything, it really doesn't matter.
I think sales is about a process of change.
Everybody hates salespeople. Everybody hates salespeople. You tell people you're in sales and they kind of back away from you.
It's the one job you probably don't want to tell your relatives you do at the family reunion. Oh, you're in sales.
They're asking or trying to get a decision.
If I don't like you, I'm not going to buy.
Now, preferably a yes, but sometimes a quick no is almost as good an answer.
If I don't trust you, I'm not going to buy.
But a long maybe will kill you.
The most important thing to understand about sales is primarily about the buyer, not the seller.
Sales helps employ people. Sales helps solve problems, solve challenges. It enables greatness to occur. At the end of the day, companies do two things. They make stuff and they sell stuff.